The fourth bill that I selected to talk about is workforce housing. And I just got done, I was telling some individuals before I came here, I spoke at a symposium at 8:30 at the Port Royal Sound Foundation to talk about the things that we can do to address the workforce housing problem, in particularly in Beaufort and Jasper counties, particularly Hilton Head has got a severe workforce housing problem. And that symposium, and what I'm going to talk about, focuses on the how do we do it. But the point I made this morning is it's also first important to talk about the why. Why is government necessary? Why does government have to get involved here? Why does government have to take action to address this problem? Because I am a classical liberal. I mean, I'm a conservative. I believe that quality of life is enhanced when you let free markets work. I mean, free markets, lead to the efficient allocation of capital. You get the highest yield you possibly can on scarce resources. I believe that profit mode, I believe in that. I mean, I think that's what's made us the most prosperous country in the history of man. I also subscribe to the belief that John Stuart Mill said this On Liberty, that my freedom to swing my arm ends where your nose begins. So that if what I do affects only myself, government ought not to bother me. But if what I do impacts somebody else, hits their nose, then government can come in and constrain my behavior. That's how I start. I start with that liberty principle. I start with that market principle. But you also have to be pragmatic enough to recognize when markets don't deliver the public outcomes that you want. Okay? I mean, it's good to have ideals, and I have principles, and I've got guiding stars that I follow when I look at legislation up there. But you also have to recognize that no system is perfect, and there are going to be dislocations in markets, and sometimes when markets don't take care of what your needs are. Workforce housing is one of those. I've been a resident of Beaufort County for 38 years. I've been a real estate lawyer for 38 years. I can see the choices that developers make, by and large. And look, they're driven by the profit motive, and the profit motive is going to dictate that they invest in things that aren't workforce housing. There's a higher rate of return to be had in building higher-end homes, and there's a place for that, and that's fine. But if we want workforce housing, okay, and I think that we do, because it's not only landscapers and tradesmen and things of that nature, although that's important. It's not only the hospitality workers in restaurants and hotels, but it's also nurses, it's policemen, it's teachers. I mean, they're being priced out of the market here. And the days of our being able to rely upon people who live in Hampton and Allendale and Colleton County getting up at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning and getting on a bus and driving into Hilton Head, they are going away as alternatives are now existing for them closer to home. And so if we're going to address that problem, we have to have new strategies and new solutions.